beginning. So, a mental process is subject to numerous influences. Intellectual standards, critical thinking, organizational bias, creative thinking. Mental process that is subject to numerous influences.
True or false?
No, it's intellectual standards, critical thinking, organizational bias, or creative thinking. Critical thinking. And numerous influences kind of gives you that. Like, hey, you're taking multiple perspectives and looking at them. Know the basic thinking abilities. So, pattern recognition, reasoning, information ordering, what they are. Blank reasoning is looking at given factual information or data for a pattern or trend and inferring the trend will continue. Inductive, analogical, deductive, or abductive? Speak up.
It's a deductive.
Not deductive.
And it's inductive.
Inductive. Alright, this is going back to the whole first week of class. Blank indicates a preconceived notion about someone or something. Relevance, biases, information, or fallacies. I didn't have to read the comments for that one. Covered that in depth. Inability to see things through the eyes of someone from another country or culture. Personal biases, organizational biases, cultural biases, or cognitive biases. Cultural. A deliberate process of thought whose purpose is to improve our thought. Creative thinking, reasoning, critical thinking, or analogies. Deliberate process of thought whose purpose is to improve our thought. Creative thinking, reasoning, critical thinking, or analogies.
Reasoning.
Still critical.
Still critical.
Second part of the definition question. Blank involves creating something new or original.
Creative thinking.
A blank is an issue or obstacle that makes it difficult to achieve a desired goal or end state. Factor, boundary, problem, benchmark. What's it? Issue or obstacle that makes it difficult to achieve a desired goal or end state. Factor, boundary, benchmark, problem. Problem. True or false? Well-structured problems are very complex, nonlinear, and dynamic, and difficult to understand and solve. False. False. A blank is information that is accepted as true in the absence of facts, but cannot be verified and is used in decision making. Assumption. See, I don't even got to read the answers. Verifiable pieces of information. They have objective reality and form the foundation on which a leaders base solutions to problems. Facts. Verifiable information. identifying a problem, leaders should actively seek to identify its
Origin.
another word for origin. Root. Cause. Sounds where it gets fun. Represents the mission variables leaders use to analyze and understand a situation in relationship to a unit's mission. ASCO, OCO, MET-TCI, or MET-TC.
NTC.
What's the
What's the I?
You gotta look back to slides. It's just information, it adds information variable to it. Civil consideration of others is analyzed by applying ASCO, ONCO, or your MET-TCs. Civil considerations. Somebody said it up there. ASCO. The effects of terrain and weather are analyzed by OCO.
Wait, isn't terrain and weather in MET-TC? I thought one of the T's in MET-TC is
Terrain.
terrain. It's not weather.
Not when you're analyzing it. MET-TC is a mission variable that can change and adjust at times. OCO is like, hey, I'm looking at a map, I'm looking at what is currently going on. What are the 8 troop leading procedures? In order.
All the troopers.
Receive the mission. Issue the warning order.
Read first.
Initiate movement.
You missed one.
Make a tentative plan, and then initiate movement. Is it conduct a conference? And then supervise and refine. They're not in order, but I know.
Supervisor refine is 8.
Isn't this the 8?
Receive the mission, issue a warning order, tentative plan, initiate movement, conduct reconnaissance, complete the plan, issue the op order, supervise refine. Blank is the art and science of understanding a situation, envisioning a desired future, and laying out effective ways of bringing that future about. Operations, flexibility, planning, or synchronization. Planning. Blank is a directive used or directive issued by a commander to subordinate commanders for the purpose of effecting the coordinated execution of an operation. They are issued to direct the execution of long-term operations as well as the execution of discrete short-term operations. Verbal order, warning order, operations order, or fragmentary order?
Operations.
Operations order. An abbreviated form of an operation order. No. Issued as needed after an operation order to change or modify that order.
Fragmentary order.
There you go. Preliminary notice of an order and action that is to follow.
That is one.
The purpose of an operations order is to convey instructions in a standard, clear, and simple format, permit subordinates to prepare supporting orders, provide tasks and activities, constraints, coordinating instructions necessary, or all of the above.
All the above.
3 to 5 paragraphs of an op order.
Situation. Execution.
Alright, in order.
Situation. And then execution. No, execution.
Two.
Execution.
Execution.
Situation,
mission, execution.
Yeah.
Sustainment. And then command and control center.
It's a lot of discussion for this staff. Which principle of joint operations specifies the objective is to direct and prioritize military action toward a clearly defined and achievable goal? Perseverance, objective, restraint, maneuver. Objective. Which principle's purpose is to use only the amount of force necessary to influence the adversary? Restraint. Which principle of joint ops purpose is to strike at a time or place where the enemy is unprepared? Surprise. Fill in the blank. The arrangement of military actions in time, space, and purpose to produce maximum relative combat power at a decisive place and time is what? Straight fill in the blank.
Massive concentration. Is there a word box or would we just like fill that in ourselves?
There'll be a word box if you type it in. You're on the right track, but the arrangement of military actions in time, space, and purpose. Everything working at the same time. There you go. Remember the little globe with all the little gears? The synchronized and simultaneous application of arms to achieve an effect greater than if each element was used separately or sequentially is
Joint operation.
combined arms. It's a whole term. We went over like last week. Which warfighting function develops and integrates those activities, enabling commanders to synchronize and converge all elements of combat power? Sustainment, movement, maneuver, protection, or command and control? Command and control. Which warfighting function related tasks and systems that provide support and services to ensure freedom of action, extend operational reach, and prolong endurance? Sustainment. True or false? All operations are multi-domain operations.
False.
It's true, isn't
True. Everything requires more than one, whether it's land, sea, air, cyber, space. Right. Blank operations suppress enemy strengths and take advantage of weaknesses. Decisive goes into this type of operation. We covered two different types of operations last week. Offensive and defense. So which one suppresses enemy strengths and takes advantage of weaknesses? Offensive operation. Blank is the massing of overwhelming effects of combat power to achieve a single purpose. Mass and what?
Can't remember the second word. Concentration.
Concentration.